Today, we're going to be rebuilding the Miami Dolphins, as they have their brand new head coach and GM being former Packers. Of course, Hafley is the bigger name of the two, and I've seen some Dolphins maybe rightfully being concerned, as he wasn't exactly the biggest name outside of that Packers circle. But if there's any consolation to be had, it's that, of course, 3 other teams wanted him, and he chose Miami, so there was some desire there. And that Green Bay had their best 2-season defensive stretch since, I believe, the 2009 and 2010 seasons, which, of course, very, very notable, that 2010 season. And I think Hafley, he gets the most he can out of a unit. If you look at Green Bay's team, tell me where the elite players are. McKinney, who can't catch, which arguably got Parsons injured, and then Parsons, who obviously, of course, got injured. Everyone else, if you watch Rashawn Gary, he is maybe the most uninspired player in the NFL right now, and they just don't have much going on at cornerback. Not that the Dolphins have a great defensive unit either, but I just think as far as, a bad defense looking good goes, Hafley's the guy to kind of create that. And, of course, with that being said, there is concerns. I don't always love the defensive coordinators being head coaches thing, because, of course, you have the offensive coordinator situation where if they coach really well, they get poached for a head coaching job, and now your quarterback, whoever it may be, has to learn a brand new scheme, right? The defensive scheme, sure, they have to learn that too, but it's a little harder on offense to get that going, especially if you have to get a new guy the next season, and the next season, and the next season, or every 2 seasons, whatever it may be. Of course, kind of joking about that Miami Packers thing, but we will be calling them the Miami Packers if they actually go Malik Willis, which we are going to be doing in this rebuild. Let's take a look at the team, though. We yapped enough about the coaching staff, which a lot of people probably don't even give a damn about. Dolphins fans have been through enough. It's been, 30 years since a playoff game, or win, I should say, or close to it. But, yeah, there's a little bit of talent. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with Tyreek Hill. I imagine a trade, especially when you're a Dolphins team that's rebuilding, and especially if you do go Willis. And I'm not saying he's a proven or unproven guy, but it's almost the same as pretty much going with a rookie, so it's going to take some time anyways, and Tyreek Hill doesn't really have much time. He's dying. He's getting old, okay? He's getting old through the NFL. But obviously, looking at what we got, Jalen Waddle, very good wide receiver 1. Would love to get like a big body guy out there, but Miami really hasn't had that since. I'm trying to think like a good one. Like Brandon Marshall? Like, who's a good big body Dolphins guy that I'm like forgetting about? Like Devontae Parker, but he had like 1, maybe 2 good seasons. I would like to get like a big body guy out there to make the quarterback's job a little easier. When you got all these short guys, which sure they're fast and they get open, there's a little, less room for error. You got to kind of put it in that spot, because they're not going to be able to go up and get it. Even though Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle especially, they've definitely done that. But I want to get a big frame guy if we can. Of course, Achane, great as one of the best running backs last season. Obviously a very good player, and if you watch our Dolphins franchise, which hopefully you didn't get confused and think that's what this was, obviously a very, very talented player. The injury, way higher here, like 78 in our franchise, by the way. But looking at the offensive line, there's some sites that grade them decently, some sites that grade them pretty poorly. I'm going to say that outside of Aaron Brewer, I'm not exactly a fan of what I've seen, right? Cole Strange, not great. Savannaya, not great. Patrick Paul, serviceable. Austin Jackson's been serviceable for them for many years. At one point early on, it kind of felt like maybe he would be one of those good to above average kind of guys, but didn't exactly turn out that way. We will be bumping Aaron Brewer to star dev as well. I think he deserves it. Tight end situation, I can't imagine Waller's going to stick around, right? It's just, I don't know. The age has caught up to him. Injuries that go with it. And then the defensive side of the ball, this is really where I wouldn't say the concerns are, because both sides of the ball are bottom 5 or bottom 10 at least in the league. But yeah, I think not being able to really generate pressure is going to kill any team, whether it's the offensive side as well getting hurt by that because you just can't get off the field, or just the defense in general. But obviously they definitely need some pass rush, and Bradley Chubb, the injuries have become a concern, and I think you probably need to move on. Not exactly a great trade in the end with the Denver Broncos. Jordan Brooks, one of their better defensive players, of course, their best linebacker. Minka Fitzpatrick, really, really good trade. Really good trade. Got him back in the uniform, but at the end of the day, he is just a safety. They need so much more than just a safety. Need corners, even though Rasul's good. And, of course, that pass rush, that front 7 is a concern. I mean, there's a reason why this team is bottom 10. It's not exactly just the coaching. They just need talent, right? And it doesn't really help that they won the last, I think, 4 games of the season to make that draft pick even worse. Said in the other video we did for the Dolphins, you can't blame them, but man, as a fan, I would probably be kind of pissed off. Of course, if you're a Dolphins fan, again, let me know in the comment section below what you think the biggest concern is, and more importantly, what do you hope they draft? Are you not a fan of Willis at all? Even though I think, obviously, that's the hard part, sustaining a full season, but I think he would have graded out as like the best QBR quarterback in the entire league over the couple of games he played for Green Bay last year. But are you interested in Willis? If not, who would you want a QB? I would say a lot of people are probably all in on Willis at this point for the Dolphins because, you know, there's a lot of that Green Bay familiarity, and more importantly, who else is really the option? Like, are you going to try to poach Daniel Jones? I don't know if he ever walks out of that building, to be honest with you. But even if he does, is this the team that's going to bring him back to, you know, how he looked last year? I don't know. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. While you're down there, no matter who you are, maybe leave a like if you end up enjoying. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PKR Plays, not Madden content. Had a little Halloween the game video over there. Little news video, so if you're not interested, I get it. Regardless, though, let's go into this rebuild. Hopefully turning Malik Willis and this new Green Bay team, if you will, into Super Bowl champions. At least let's get a playoff win. How about we start with that? Also, if you guys want to see another rebuild on Tuesday, because I think on Monday we'll be doing Dolphins franchise, 250 likes, and we'll do either the Chargers or Giants. Let me know which team you'd like to see more. Either way, let's get into this rebuild of the Dolphins. And every time I do one of these sims, it is always the Seahawks and the Patriots, which I'd say if you're a betting man, probably the route I'd go to. Probably the route I would also be taking if I had to guess. I'm not going to completely discredit either of the teams. The Rams, I think, on their best day, could beat any team. And I think the Broncos, Stidham, he's had his moments. That defense is good. You really just never know. I think the Patriots are a little overrated. They're a little overrated. I get it. You know, they're, Drake May, and they're kind of playing higher than their talent, which is impressive. But I do feel like they're slightly overrated, and with that, I could see anyone beating them, really. Really, any given day, they could beat anyone, but I think they're one of the weaker teams remaining, even though there's only 4 teams left. But of course, let's take a look at the retirements if we had any. I'm trying to think. Matthew Judon, 10 years. In our Dolphins franchise, we kind of had Tua retire. He had a little accident, if you will. And this one, we're just going to let him go. I think he probably lingers around a little bit. I just don't know if he'd actually start anywhere. Of course, we'll be bumping Brewer to star dev, don't you worry. Brooks goes to superstar, which is huge. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick goes to X Factor, which I think is decent. There is some, debate maybe to trade Minkah, one of your, better defenders. But again, it's a safety, and you just need so much. Depending on what you get, obviously, that's the whole point. Like, I think if Madden was real life, I think a lot of trades would be happening 24/7. But Madden's not real life. We've seen some of these guys go for way less than they're worth, and it's because teams get desperate. And I don't think this team should be desperate for a good playmaker like that, unless they're going to get really good value out of it. But yeah, looking at the team, man, we've got some work to do. I think we should be sitting around pick 11, which, I mean, there's some flexibility. There's some range there. Maybe make a trade up, possibly a trade down. I would love to get edge. In the last one we did, we went Dante Moore, so that's another reason why we're happy to do another rebuild so close, because that is obviously never going to happen. But let's move on to the actual re-signing period, which I have no idea who's here. Who is it? Kader Kohu. There's some players here that I think the real-life Dolphins would not want to lose, but the me who knows they can't develop doesn't mind it. Like, that's a fair contract. A 1-year 11 for Rasul Douglas. Like, he maybe gets like a 2-year 19 in real life, perhaps. I don't know. I think that was a fair contract from us. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys just aren't worth the money they're wanting. F it. Bandage is being ripped off. We're losing our whole entire cornerback unit. All right, free agency. I need a cornerback. Can you deliver that to me? I don't think it's happening. Cameron Curl, the hero. The hero. My guy. We actually might go Cameron Curl. I'm trying to think of best outcome for this team. You're really going to go safety edge. We're going to spend the little bit of space we have on safety. Rasul, whether you like it or not, you might be coming back. I'm just going to be real with you. The problem is, Cameron Curl's not that old, I suppose. I think you get Rasul Douglas, and then you maybe bring in Curl. I'm going to give him that original 1-year 11 that he wanted. I think in real life he definitely loses some going to free agency and realizing that he's not worth as much as he thought he was. Again, everyone's just one-year guys that maybe if you're a Super Bowl team, you don't hate the depth bringing them in, but we're far from that team. These guys are starters. These guys are full-time starters, and I don't know if I love them being full-time starters. It is crazy that Romeo Doubs is here. Could you imagine? I think we took him. Did we bring him to the Falcons? Can't remember. I thought we brought him with Willis. Did we? Man, that would be fitting. But where is Willis, speaking of? How much money is he wanting? Of course, we will be bumping him, so I feel bad. I think Willis is a 2-year 30 type of guy. So I'll be willing to pay a little bit more, even though I'm going to have to clear some money here to even make the contract. But I think a 2-year 30 for a guy that's shown enough. In today's market of QBs, like, that's cheap. I'm just going to put that on there now so I can deal with that. But it's pretty cheap. It's low risk for an NFL franchise. I just don't know what I do here because I need the money. I guess Tua? What about Tua? Tua? Tua, how could you? Like, the savings just aren't even there. I needed him to retire, to be honest with you. Oh, yeah, Tyreek. I can't trade him yet, though, can I? I can trade him. Woohoo! We'll take it. Hell yeah, Lad McConkey. Okay, obviously there's a reason why. You know, some of the trades that we do, some people are like, oh, you could have got more for him. It's because the game overvalues players. We're going to have to make a manual trade of Tyreek Hill, and it's going to have to be a team that really is close, I think. And they took it. I don't care. Tyreek Hill for a first and second round pick from the Rams. They are very late picks, to be fair. And I know the Rams have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, but if you're going all in and you can get that trio of just unstoppable force, why not? Why not? Let me know what you guys think Tyreek would be worth. At this point, I don't think he's worth a first and a second. Maybe that late first on its own, perhaps, but it's just a lot of risk, right? You're taking a lot of risk. A guy that's kind of pondering retirement and, more importantly, coming off a big injury and, you know, how many things affecting his speed with age and injury and all that. I don't know. I just don't love it. We do save a lot of money, though, and that will allow us to bump up Willis's contract to make it a little more realistic. Again, I think a 2-year 30 for what I think will make him is a 75 overall. I can't remember what we made him last time, but obviously he's higher than a 63 overall. Like, come on. All right, how many of the 4 did we get? No, we don't get Rasul. Big one, though, is Cameron Curl, though. He was a guy that a lot of other teams wanted, and we ended up getting Cameron Curl. McKivitz, I think he's an upgraded tackle for sure. And then Mr. Malik Willis, kind of the face of this one, if you will. We will be bumping him up to a 75 overall. I think it's only fair. These are the ratings I gave him. I thought they're pretty fair. I think it's pretty legit. 78 deep. I'm not a huge fan of his deep ball. 83 medium. I think it's good. Short accuracy, very good. I think that's a fair representation of Malik Willis, at least in the structure of Green Bay's offense. We'll see what happens when he joins a new team, because I imagine he's starting somewhere in 2026, and I really hope he does, because he is way too fun to watch not to have a chance. I need to see him out there, full 17-game season, hopefully, meaning that he actually is good. You know, if he looks as good as Love or better, I don't care. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it personally. I think Love is severely underrated. I know that most of the talking heads do consider him a top 5 QB, top 10 QB, but from the fan standpoint, a lot of people think he's bad. But this is what the projected offense looks like for the moment. Willis at the QB spot, and then right tackle 79 overall. We still need a lot of work, obviously, and then strong safety Curl. Not bad, not bad. Unfortunately, cornerback looks horrible, so I really don't know what to do in the draft, to be honest. I think based on what I'm seeing, we might have no choice but to trade back. I really think we might have no choice. Or in the draft, oh, crap. I don't think it's too late. I think I can fix this. I forgot about the damn trade, dude. It's the championship round almost. And we still don't have the damn weekly stuff fixed. Damn it. I gotta get the Raiders pick. I will say, though, this has been a very fortunate year of Madden Sim, because the top, 10-ish is, pretty much spot on. Most of the draft is pretty spot on. It's just you gotta fix that first and fourth pick, which is nice. All right, that's a little bit better. Don't do Simpson again. Thank you. We did a rebuild recently where they took Simpson out of nowhere. Simpson 2, there you go. Okay, reasonable. I think Reese 2, Simpson maybe a 15 or 16. I think they just have 16, but we'll see what happens, of course. You know, teams get desperate, things happen. I really don't know what we want honestly. Malachi at 4. I was thinking Lemon at 11. I was thinking the Lemon at 11. Now, if Caleb Downs gets to 11, I mean, do you not just take the best available player? I'm not sure. We need corner as well. Wide receiver Tate, perhaps. We talked about wanting a taller guy. Reese all the way at 10 is crazy work. Downs at 9. I mean, you get your choice of wide receiver outside of Lemon. I really wanted Lemon there, but, you know, it is what it is. What else do we got? So, could go Jordan Tyson. I really want somebody that's like, again, big frame or super fast. I want one of the two. Do we actually trade down? I just really am thinking about it. Like, we could go edge, Keldrick Falk or somebody like that. I don't know. Like, I need a wide receiver and an edge rusher. I think I'm going to trade this down. I know we have pick 29. Man, I kind of talked myself out of it. Maybe corner this high? Do you take corner? Do I take Delane? I'm debating it. I am definitely debating it. Problem is I have other guys like A.J. Harris I could take later. A trade down would do me wonders. Nah, we're going to take Delane. I'm going to take Delane. Cornerback is a huge need for this team. Top 10 true talent player. Normal development. I think we did know that from last rebuild. Let's slow some in. Just try to get ourselves a wide receiver at 29. And screw it. I'm going to take Uiagalelei. I think this team needs edge maybe not just as much as wide receiver, but the wide receivers have fallen a little bit in this one. And the number one guy is Tate, who, hidden dev. Did we know that? We have definitely taken him. We have definitely taken him. Because I remember saying that name before. But yeah, Tate is still there at the 30s, which just isn't going to happen. Like, he could probably break his leg at the combine. But obviously, hopefully that doesn't happen. And he still gets taken top 10. I mean, it's just, I don't want to take a wide receiver that I know isn't going to be there. At least if it's realistic, you know, I'll take one. Like, you know, even though Boston's expected to be late first, he could fall into the second, right? You know, especially if lack of speed or Brazel. You know, these different guys, I mean, Tyson probably not, but maybe. But Tate at the 30s, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. The goal is hopefully that Boston's there at 11. I just take him. Again, we're talking about getting a big frame wide receiver, getting that future wide receiver 1/2 all the way here at 11 would be insane. I just got to make sure that he isn't at the top. Oh, he's at the top. Okay, we're going to trade up with the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they don't need a wide receiver that bad. They could use one, but they don't need one that bad. So we'll make the argument. A 6th-round pick to move 3 spots if you've got plenty of guys, since it is, once again, a top 40 draft situation. You should have plenty of guys there. Is not a bad way to go if you're them. I will say Concepcion is a very interesting name, too, and it kind of fits that, I wouldn't say undersized, but smaller wide receiver build. I'm going to take Concepcion. Actually, I think that fits the Dolphins mold a little bit more. We need a 93 speed, 94 excel, hidden development trait player. I don't hate that. You know what? We're going to take the elite speed tight end, Eli Stowers. We are really just filling up this offense with some talent now. 69 true talent, hidden development trait. What a difference maker. We trade a 3rd and then a future 5th with Austin Jackson to the Patriots of all teams. I mean, who are they worried about? Not us. For that trade up, which we are going to be using on a guard, I believe, Ernest Green, who looks really, really good. That's who our pick is going to be. True talent 81, just hoping for hidden. No, we have never taken him before. And, I mean, what is it, like 5 hidden linemen in this entire class? I really like the class, but man, every year, no matter who you use, I think it's because a lot of people copy sports gaming rosters, to be fair, and they just don't change anything. They're like, yeah, this is my class too. Download it, please. You know, every year we just have no devs for the offensive line, just at all. And if Durant's there at 22, I'm taking him. It's going to be a little bit of a process to develop him, but I'm taking him, which I don't think he'll be there, but do I see Durant? I don't know if I've seen him go. He might actually be available. He is not available. I didn't even see him, though. I did not see him at all. Do we take Mr. Perkins? Mr. Perkins. Yeah, I'll take Harold Perkins. You get a, versatile guy, and, what do you think about Chop Robinson, potentially? Move him around a little bit and see what happens. We have another 3rd-round pick, so really probably should have traded up for Durant. Durant went 67. Yeah, I didn't want him that high then. Never mind. False alarm. What about safety? I didn't put it on the board. Yeah, for good reason. because we have some players, but they're a little older, especially, the strong safety because he doesn't have the dev. I know Mink is older, but because he's dev'd, it shouldn't hurt him as much as he gets, down the line. But I will say, as, we're kind of moving along here, I'm not a huge fan of, the players that are left. I mean, you could go Miller, but we've done that a few times now, and with McKivitz at right tackle, do we really need him, is the question. Maybe, I suppose. I mean, if you know a guy's hitting dev, you know a guy's hitting dev. Well, we'll find out where to, put him. Maybe at guard. Yeah, we actually could use him, but I'm not a huge fan of Daniels. I honestly probably replace both guards here. And sadly, the round I would have went Taylon Green, and Taylon Green is gone. That's a tough one. That is unfortunate. And while I don't know if I'll ever use him, I'm going to grab Vincent Anthony just as a backup. Maybe he's hidden. Maybe this is a guy we draft as a starter in the future, which of course he's not. But yeah, this team just needs a lot of work on the D-line. Sadly, we're just not hitting on DT because there just isn't many. But every other position, I'm actually really happy with what we've done. We could use another corner, though, so maybe we should have went with a cornerback. J.Q. Hardaway, again, kind of a raw player, but I'll take him. UDF-type player, but a lot of these guys kind of come out of the woodwork. Some team just takes a reach because they like something they've seen on tape recently, and there you have it, And even though he never develops for us, I think it's criminal if we come out of this draft without a DT. Even though this team doesn't really need another nose tackle type, it's better than nothing. But yeah, I really like that draft. I think Delane not being star dev is a little crazy, personally, but even without that, he's going to be a good overall, I imagine. Yeah, 78 overall. Actually, let's take a look at the whole overview, if you will. So everyone but Hardaway was a 70+, which is a win. We took a lot of players. Didn't really hurt our future either. Just, a lot of good trade down stuff, Tyreek and whatnot. But Delane, a little bit worse off in the man coverage than I would have thought there, but still very good player, 78 overall, smart, good. We'll have to change that number at some point. But Uangalele, who I'm just going to butcher a few times. A very good player, right? Very good. Automatic starter at right end. Bradley Chubb's a good backup until, that money clears up. And, yeah, star development trait. Hopefully he's one of those cornerstone players. Again, I think this team now, with the draft we just had, which was actually really impressive, and the best part is, we drafted a couple of new guys, right? We didn't have Delane before, Concepcion. Stowers, I think we might have had. Green, we never had. Anthony, we never had. Hardaway, there's half the drafts is, it's kind of hard to find new players to draft when you use the same class and whatnot, and you keep doing the same drafts. But we've been doing it lately. And yeah, Concepcion looks very solid. Again, a little bit on the shorter side, but those kind of guys are actually some of the best in the league now. Anywhere that 5'11" to 6 foot, 6'1" range, they're like the best in the league. There's the Julios and the Calvins of the world, the 6'3" to 6'5s. They're not really as good as, a lot of the shorter guys these days. So it's not what it used to be, even in Madden specifically. Stowers, tell me his vertical threat is higher because, he is obviously raw. The catching's a little iffy, but an elite athlete. Hoping that he's our little Kyle Pitts that maybe takes a little while to develop, but turns into one of those difference makers. Hopefully a little bit sooner than Kyle, but as long as he gets there, that's fine. But yeah, very good draft pick there. Ernest Green, really disappointed with this pick that he's only normal development trade. I'm going to play it how it lies, though. I'm not going to do anything. Maybe in the future we change the devs, and whether we take them or not. Harold Perkins, going to stay as that will linebacker. I think that's where we're going to be playing him. Miller will play our left guard spot. And I do want to see Anthony. We have never had him before. Yeah, another raw player, which is fair, right? 4th round, 5th round type of player. Makes sense that he's a little more raw. Same with Hardaway. I might be starting him, though, I will admit, because I can't really remember when I'm going to start Juju Brents. Probably not. All right, here's the team for year number 1. I don't know what to do. Do we start Green even though Daniel's 5 overall is higher? I guess. Obviously, Stowers starts. Actually, you know what? I didn't even do the lineup. All right, this is the team for year number 1. As, yeah, there's still a lot to work on, right? Offensive line, you could argue we need 3 names because Ernest Green, I don't know what he's going to develop. He's a 72 as he's a 72 overall normal. Quarterback, Malik Willis, not a huge fan that he's 27 already, but if he has a great season, which we are going to be using the Packers scheme, this is basically, again, the Green Bay Dolphins or the Miami Packers, however you prefer. Do I actually want him at 16, though, is the question. I don't know. We're going to, rock that Green Bay O and D. Receivers I do like, though. Stowers and Concepcion are very much so improvements for this team. Definitely some vertical threat, if you will. And then edge, obviously we're going to have to switch this to a 4-3. But yeah, I don't hate the team. It's just, maybe need another corner, deep T, safety. We'll see what happens with Chop. But compared to, a couple minutes ago before the draft and now, yeah, it's way higher upside. All right, here we are with the contract. Some big names that we have to pay. We'll definitely pay Achane and Fitzpatrick. As far as Brooks goes, we'll see. Maybe a one-year deal if we can pull that off. Brewer definitely. And I think everyone else is gone. And unfortunately, we go 6-11. The team does not do super well. Let's take a look at the win-loss. Early on, we were like 3-4, which you can turn around a 3-4 season, except for when you go 4 in a row, losing. Then you win 2, and then you lose another 3. Win 1, lose 1. I mean, you beat the Green Bay Packers with your Miami Packers, so there's definitely something. Malik Willis, though, numbers very good. 30 touchdowns, 13 picks, 3,800 yards. That would obviously be a W of the season. Another 2 on the ground as well. Definitely would run him a little bit more. So maybe even though this is supposed to be the Packers of the Dolphins team, we probably will try to find a scheme that actually has Willis running because he is definitely fond of the old scrambling. I would say if he had a full season start, I would suspect no less than about 500, 600 yards on the ground. But yeah, as far as, the running back goes, Achane was great. Ollie Gordon was okay. Concepcion, we obviously focused him hard because we wanted him to have a Rookie of the Year type season, and I think he did. 1,361 yards with 18 touchdowns. Waddle, touchdowns are down, but yards are fine. Washington, okay. Stowers, actually not bad. And then looking at the blocking, we have obviously seen better, especially from the guard position. Pass rush, though. I mean, our rookie wasn't great, but Chop was. 12 sacks, 10.5 for Seiler. Disappointing one from Grant at 4.5, but what a year. Actually, not a bad year at all. 6-11, you're thinking this team sucked. But honestly, there was some pretty good individual performances that hopefully and assumingly get some dev ups. MVP goes to Joe Burrow, and then the awards. Rookie of the Year, we do win with Concepcion. And then the Defensive Rookie of the Year, we had number 4 and 5 and 7, which is not bad. Of course, didn't win it, unfortunately. Willis at 9 for QB. Running back at 7. Wide receiver at 2. Best O-line, no. D-line, no. How close are we on the D-line anywhere? Number 9, not bad. Linebacker, like I said, no. DB, no. Kicker, no. But a couple of guaranteed dev-ups. And by a couple, I mean really just Concepcion. But I suspect Chop Robinson, or at least I damn hope. And the Super Bowl between the Ravens and Packers, 31-28, very close one there. Let's take a look at the lineup, see if any got any dev ups. Really disappointed that Willis didn't go up dev because he went up 1 whole overall. We did actually have some regression, which we'll have to fix. Normally, I kind of just let it happen because we have the regression on 50%, so it's not big of a hit. But with someone like Willis, who's already 28, we need every single rating we can get, right? But Concepcion, 86 overall. Short route kind of sucks, which is definitely not what you want him to be. You want him to be good in that short route, but he's a very good player. That's all that really matters. That's the good part. And then defensively, any dev ups here? Delane, there you go. Marshall as well. A couple of dev ups here. Big, 84 overall. We got ourselves our press man corner. Looks to be the franchise corner, the cornerstone corner, if you will. Unfortunately, Chop Robinson does not go up in dev. But Marshall, like I said, does. Not the youngest guy in the world, but definitely serviceable. Could easily be the slot for the next couple of seasons. Maybe even move up to that number 2 spot. Kind of depends on what we can do in free agency and or the draft. But yeah, this is not a bad season again for a team that did not play well. Would have loved to see Ungulele get a little bit higher of an overall, but it's fine. It's fine. Perkins 80 overall, not bad actually, but okay. For a 6-11 season, I have seen far worse. Take a look if we had any regression/retirements, and we see Jalen Mills goes, which he was our mentor backup. It's fine. I mean, he's a mentor backup to a guy that can't really develop, so what are we really missing there, As far as what we were trying to be doing here, been trying to keep Brooks, and he finally takes the 1-year deal. Chop Robinson, I'll just pay him, which hopefully plays well again, because usually Chop Robinson doesn't do well for me, but he was well there. And then, McKivitz wasn't bad, right? What was his sacks allowed? 7? That's not terrible for Madden, right? But I think we can do as good, if not better. But here is free agency. Brian Branch, big name safety. Is that really the position that this team needs to be developing into? Or not developing, but investing, I should say. Tipman, that's an interesting name. So they're kind of tempting me with some bait players. There's a couple of bait players here. Now, I will say Jamel Dean, even though he is on the older side, I think is a worthy pick. Trying to make this team a playoff team, and I think he definitely kind of completes this cornerback room. And then Branch, I mean, if I could do a 3-year just to at least, protect ourselves in the future, I would maybe consider it. But there's no way I'm doing a 5-year, which, of course, the Raiders seemingly are doing. But really hope we get Jamel Dean. Brian O'Neill's definitely an improvement at right tackle, but he is costly, so we'll see. Just glad to see that some of these guys are actually interested in joining us. So we'll put those two guys in the block, and then Tittman, I think we can draft guard pretty easily, so I'm not too worried about that. Quentin Johnson, if he was star dev, I'd think about it. But yeah, I think those are the two main names we want. And then the rest of the money we're going to save for re-signing the players already on the roster. And we actually get a pretty good collection of players here. We get Jamel Dean, Brian O'Neill, Desmond Reed, and then Nick Moore as our long snapper. Did not get Grover Stewart, but probably for the better, as we don't really need him. I just wanted some depth. All right, we're in the draft. We have pick 8 overall. There's a bunch of different positions. Now, I will say quarterback is intriguing because there's 3 solid-looking ones. You have Jeff Bradham. You have Mr. Ross Tucker. And then the guy I scouted because I think he's a little more realistic if we wanted to go for him. Very solid-looking Jonathan Welch. Problem is, Willis was good enough to deserve that start. It's just, he's getting older. And he's going to need a contract. Does the team give him one? Don't know if you go pick 8 overall after the season you just had, though. That's the problem. Looking at other positions, cornerback we scouted a little bit. Ooh. Marquand Drake, actually not a bad player. Scouted him further. He had that round 1 true talent. Take a look at these other corners. Geddes is pretty good too, but round 1 isn't quite. If he was top 5, man. James Geddes might have been my guy. I struggle. I like all these players, to be honest with you. I don't know who to take. I don't think I have like a positional need where I have to take them at 8 either, but I also don't know if I want to trade down. I honestly think if that quarterback's there at 8, there's a chance we take him. Both quarterbacks go top 2. And the other quarterback's still there. Oof. That's tough because he's a good player. He is an absolutely good player, and you are not going to have a chance to draft someone like this any other time. But pick 8 overall after having a good season with your quarterback, but he didn't go up in dev. I don't know. I do not know. Do we call this a luxury pick? Pass rushers. Man. I'm actually struggling this one a little bit. Because corner's a need, but it's not a need right now. And then more importantly, you have Drake later anyways. I think truly that Welch is the best pick. I'm just going to take him even if we're starting Willis. True talent number 11. Dev of Hidden Dev. I mean, he's a really good QB. The smart thing is absolutely to start Welch. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I want to see if Willis can develop. Because there's a good chance that Miami does take Malik Willis for free agency and use him. There's no way the team gave me a guy named LaFleur. The game's giving me a guy to add to the team named LaFleur. There's no way. We also have Malik Walters, one of the guys that are just always normal development trait. Always normal development trait. I've got no choice to take him, though, I think, because everyone else is like a nose tackle. All right, maybe he'd be the first guy that looks normal that isn't. 69 true talent. Hey, he is actually hidden. Huge draft pick. He'll be one of our starters. We'll go to the end of the round where we will end up taking... Man, I don't know. Do you take Walters? Might make a trade up. But to say, because maybe we go safety. But I don't really like future-proofing safety because you want these guys to start right away. And more importantly, if they're normal, it's a complete waste. At least if they're normal when you start them, you have a chance. But if they're normal beforehand, even though I really do like Jordan Watson, yeah, you're kind of cooked. I'll go to 8. I think Drake will be there. I think some of the safeties are even still there. I expected the corner to be there. This is one of those like 4th or 5th round type guys. Now he could have went, right? Day 3 I've seen go high, but he seems like a later pick. So Marquand Drake, we're going to be taking here in 8. True talent 9. No one's surprised. A little surprised he's normal, though. I really thought he was going to be star dev, but that's fine. He's a good player. Good pick. All right, we trade Daniels a 4th and a 6th for the Texans' 3rd round pick. Daniels not a bad player. You could easily see him going for like a 4th or a 5th round pick, which you add that to what we traded, and I think that equals out that trade value. With this, though, we are going to be going with Kyrie Mixon. Very solid-looking player that could be a future starting safety on this team. True talent of 46. The dev of Hidden. Huge. Maybe he's the corner going for it. I don't know. Might make a trade up into the 6th round for a couple of 6th-round picks. Maybe turn those into some linemen, perhaps. We trade all of this for 2 6th-round picks from the Patriots. We're actually pretty damn high picks, but I think it's pretty fair. Love trading with these Patriots, man. Let me tell you. We can make ourselves better. I don't really care who the hell we're trading with, to be fair. Didn't go wide receiver, which I kind of wanted to go LaFleur, but it just, I don't know, it didn't work out. Harden doesn't. He looks like one of those, what is that called? One of those special builds, if you will. Bacon. Do we want the bacon? I do like Iglesias, but he's a little undersized. Let's go with Richard, who, big guard type. 24 true talent. Hidden development trade. I don't know why they made it so easy to get these guys, but they did. And I kind of thank them for it, because it makes O-line drafting a bit easier. And here's Alan Bacon, 6'5", 334, 38 bench reps. Let us be seeing 29 true talent dev of also hidden huge. Yo, hidden dev long snapper. Well. Is it the first this year we had? Maybe the 2nd or 3rd. Maybe, I don't know. It's rare though. I'll take him. I based him just based off the bench reps. He had the highest one. And let's take a look at the team. 77 overall for the QB. Dude, why do we draft such a good core? Dude, this guy. That's like one of the most accurate QBs I've drafted this year. And we might have to have a QB battle. I mean, again, this is not far from reality. Even though it's a 30-year touchdown, 13 pick, 3,800-yard season from Willis, it's a 2-year, 30-year mil contract. It's a low-risk contract. If you see something you think is better long-term for the team, you take that and you run with it. So we'll have to have a little bit of a quarterback battle here, I think, between Willis and Welch, because Welch looks great. We have already done a rebuild with Willis, and it actually went pretty well. I can't remember if we won 2 Super Bowls, but I'm pretty sure we at least won 1. So at the end of the day, we've already seen Willis develop, but I wouldn't hate to see him develop here with the Dolphins either. So really just comes down to what happens here in preseason. This could definitely... the problem is, though, with training camp, I'm going to have to put the training camp stuff on Willis. I guess I could do both of them. One, you only get 1, I think, instead of 2. But, yeah, I'm going to have to do it on Willis, because if Willis does win it, he's going to need that more than anyone, right? But we landed some good guards as well. I mean, we had ourselves a sick draft. We drafted a long snapper, and we still finished with a damn near full hidden dev draft. Here's Nick Sears, by the way, the long snapper. I wonder what his dev is. Just star? Where number 7? Okay, I guess. If 7 was available last season, we would have done that for freaking Willis. That would have been cool. Superstar dev long snapper. I'm not sure what that gives us, but I'm also curious to see what the abilities are. I don't think they have any long snapper abilities. That's why if you actually look at the upgrades, it says like power and accurate. Even though like there's no ratings that like say like long snapping accuracy or something. It just says long snapper, So I'm not really sure what that's all about. But one hell of a draft. Our luxury pick was a quarterback, technically. Yo. Wait a whole minute here. He just went up 4 overalls. You could see improviser 78. Actually, I don't know if you can see. But he just went up an insane amount. We have to see this. 22 upgrades from 2 upgrade points. Wow. So what did he go up? He went up 2 short, 3 mid, 2 deep, 5 under pressure, 3 break sack, 3 awareness, 4 throw on the run. Sheesh. And I didn't even fix his Super Bowl stuff, which I don't even think I'm going to. We're just going to live with it. We're going to live with it. But also at the same time, Welch also went up crazy amount from his single upgrade. Or maybe 2 upgrades because of the XP. 2 upgrades, 33 upgrades for him. Yeah, it just, it is what it is. Oh, you know what it might be, actually? I had Camp Counselor on because I wanted to get a dev up. That would make sense, actually. Okay. That's why I've avoided most QB abilities in offline leagues. because it's so busted. Those coach abilities are so stupid. I hope they remove them all next year. All right, here's the roster for season number 2, but we don't know what the lineup will be at quarterback. 2 guys that are both 82 overall. Obviously, we're not stupid. We all know Welch is the guy as far as long-term development. But if Willis wins the job, he's still going to get the job. We see it in real life a lot too, where the veteran man, he's not going to be around long. He's still going to win the job potentially, but he's not going to be around long. That's kind of the situation here, right? Defense, Walters our number 2. Siler's is going to be that run-stopping, guy for us. Jamel Dean at 2 really was trying to get that dev up through training camp. Didn't get it, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, the team looks better. Will we win more than 6 games? I'm not sure. But let's go through preseason. We'll be swapping the quarterbacks back and forth just to see who the best is. And we do win the first game with Willis as the starter. But how much do you play as a starter? Technically, that might be a Welch win, because usually the first game, at least, the starters are actually not the starters. They actually are usually the second stringers. And then another win, okay. And then I don't really know if I could say it's fair or only fair, but Willis back in the starting lineup, and we will see. I mean, maybe we just go 3-0, and you don't even know who the QB is because they're both just perfect. Not a bad problem to have, as we do lose. So let's take a look now at how preseason went. Obviously, Waddle killed it. First game in here, Welch was definitely better. He was amazing. And then game 2, Welch was better again. Not that Willis was bad, but Welch was better. And then in game 3, Willis was better, but not technically because the accuracy was far worse. Unfortunately, Welch is the starter. Oh, man, I have to start him. I really want to use Willis. What are the ratings? He's better than Willis already. Just not as fast. Damn, son. I guess we're starting Welch. There's nothing really to it. I was going to say, well, maybe Willis will have a bad season. We'll use him again. It's not going to happen with the Packers scheme. It just isn't. But maybe he gets benched. Maybe Welch struggles early and we put Willis back in. I mean, Hafley's got a 5-year contract. I imagine they want to at least play him for 3 years out there. So we should be fine to make some stupid moves. Like the Redskins that one year when they constantly kept bringing McNabb back in and they benched him. They brought him back, benched him. I can't remember exactly what went on that year, but was that not right? I feel like they benched him a million different times and then brought him back on, benched him again. What a year. Maybe it was just injuries. I can't remember. It was many years ago. Our negotiations, I have no idea how Chop's playing last year, who was great. This is only 2 weeks now, and he's got 2 sacks. So let's pay Chop Robinson before he realizes who he is. And everyone will be happy. A 6-year, 87. We might have to bump it slightly. We got to get on that, though. Jordan Brooks, maybe. Jamel Dean, maybe. Patrick Paul. Man, Willis, a 3-year, 86. Maybe it is smart to go Welch. I mean, it's a 2-year, 20. Or 2-year, 30 we gave Willis. So it's like, okay, we want to see what you got. You were good. But this Welch guy came along and he could be better. We'll have to see. I don't want to lose Willis for nothing because he's an 82 overall now, but he wants to stick around. Damn, this pains me. A whole title of a video potentially for 1 season of play. Headed to the playoffs, we almost benched Welch, but he did just enough. I don't know if he's going to make the playoffs for us, but he did get us to 9 wins at least. And he did, in fairness, get us to the playoffs at 10-7. Delane with 7 interceptions, by the way. Same scheme, of course. I feel bad. I feel bad about Malik Willis. I wonder where he goes after this. But Jonathan Welch, 40 touchdowns, 8 picks, 4,000 yards. I mean, we're justified, right? He had more yards, 10 more touchdowns, was it? Willis was good. Welch was better. That's all there really is to it. Looking at the pass rush, Robinson, another great year. Yeah, I mean, everyone else is pretty bad. I mean, not bad. Our edge was good, but our DTs were a little iffy. Delane, great. Kicking, punting, especially punting, pretty good. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Burrow. Dude, he always wins it. Welch was 6th, though, so I mean, that's got to be offensive player, rookie of the year anyways, which it is, so he's automatically superstar. It's so bad that even though it was clearly the right choice, I still wish we would have gave Willis another chance, but it was the right choice. I don't know what else to say. It was clearly the smart one. And there was no bias either. It was, You know, some of these times we do the whole preseason battle. You know, it's a little close, and we choose the biased one that I actually want. But this one, it wasn't even close. Welch outplayed him every single game. Even the game where he didn't have a touchdown, but Willis did. Willis was way more inaccurate. So, unfortunately, just Welch was the better guy. If he didn't fall to 8, I wouldn't have made a trade up. I didn't trade up for anybody. He fell to us. He had all A's in the accuracy. What am I supposed to do? Pass on him? We have no choice. 21-18, 28-18, 35-18, 35-25, and 38-25. He, in his first year, has taken us to the playoffs with the same exact scheme, pretty much the exact same team, especially offensively, and has won a playoff game. 5 touchdowns, 0 picks. Again, it's Jaquan Jackson, by the way. What a game. It's all vindicated. It's all, understandable. It's realistic. It worked out. I still don't like it. And we're taking on the Chargers, who I actually almost did a rebuild of, to be fair. Maybe we do that on Sunday. The worst part is I have a Giants rebuild I did like a couple of days ago that was supposed to come out, and then all these coaching moves happened, and I'm not even sure when I'm going to post that, dude. That might be like a week after I made it, which is like the latest I've ever... Well, Packers franchise is a little behind at times, like usually a week or two behind, but other than Packers franchise, which pretty much has to be delayed, yeah, this might be one of our like latest record/edit to uploads we've done. Might even have to like re-voice over a beginning to be like, hey, this is a little out of date just in case something happens or whatnot. Just know that. Maybe I talk about something like, can't believe, the Rams might lose this upcoming weekend. I can't even remember when I recorded, to be fair. If it was before that. It might have been a little bit after the game, but yeah, that's all I can say. Whose ball is it? Theirs? Oh, no. No. Guys, this is a generational fold. That is a generationally bad defensive fold. It really isn't, but I'm being dramatic. Very unfortunate, I'll tell you that much. What was the scoring summary? I mean, it's not a good finish, I'll tell you that much, but it's still not generational. Yeah, Welch didn't do enough this one. Definitely didn't do enough this time. Call it out is. Defense is pretty good. I really just think the offense didn't answer the call. Bills versus Falcons. The Bills put up a lot of points and beat the Falcons to win it all. DevUps for us. Welch, definitely a superstar, and Waddle also. H-Chan is not who I wanted to click on. Thank you, game. Appreciate you. Waddle, superstar development trait, 90 overall. He's back to superstar, which we love to see. What is Welch's overall? 89 overall. Yeah, it was the smart move, huh? Damn. Defensively, any DevUps? Delane, the superstar dev. Really wish Dean would have went up because we could have kept him for an extra year. But unfortunately, that is not going to be the case here today. Overalls are looking good at the edge. Need a new linebacker or two. Team's looking good. Got a playoff win in year 2. I love that Packers scheme, let me tell you. Defensive scheme isn't as good, but it's okay. Dolphins, Seiler retires on us, and a couple of mentor backups as well. All the money in the world, no need to pay a quarterback. Damn, things are crazy. I still remember at one point, I had Malik Willis on my team in a franchise and put him a running back. That's crazy. The disrespect is crazy. But to be fair, he was like a 68 overall or something like that, and I mean, I didn't need a quarterback. Put him at running back. He's pretty fun. But unfortunately, Willis will be going elsewhere. Don't need a running back because we signed Reed. We actually kept Bradley Chubb. Dude should be so grateful for us because we gave him so much more money than he really should have gotten. But, yeah, I mean, we found our guy. It's a disappointing situation, but we found our guy. Look at a free agency. You got yourself a running back, which we don't need. Cooper DeJean. We did just pay Jamel Dean a 1-year deal, but I don't know if I really... He's an X Factor, though. I have not seen Cooper DeJean be an X Factor in, any of these. Cooper DeJean in the slot is pretty elite. I'd do a 3-year deal and then, put him as the number 2 going forward. Yet they do the whole thing, don't you? He is worth it. Jamel Dean in the slot isn't the worst move either. Just kind of pivoting. Whatever happens, happens, Just kind of pivoting. I'd like to get Joe Alt as well, but I don't have a need for him. Like, I could move... Nah, I don't... Man, as much as I want Joe Alt, that is so much money. Although we don't need money, because we do 5-year rebuilds, and Welch won't need a contract, so why not? We're going to spend crazy money. 290-plus overall players, potentially, in 1 year is crazy work. Let's bring in Zach Bond if we can as our middle linebacker. I mean, even with all these contracts, we have $48 million. Why not? Sean Gary, no thank you. Oh, don't you dare, Hafley. Don't you dare try to bring him in. No thank you. No thank you at all. Javon Bullard or Javon Bullard could be a good slot corner. Don't really need him. We do need a safety, though. I mean, are we just going to get crazy and just spend every dollar we have? I mean, these are all good players. It's just... I'm not used to spending this kind of money. Not that we're guaranteed to get them all. There's a good chance we only get Bullard here. But it'd be nice to get all of them. Well, we're not getting Zach Bond. We get Cooper DeJean and Javon Bullard. I will say, of all the players in that list, those are the two I wanted. Sad that Green Bay didn't draft Cooper DeJean, though. Speaking of idiots. All right, we're in the draft, and I see a lineman. He says top 5. I don't truly believe it, but top 5's top 5. You know, if he's there, he's there. I'm not going to trade up for him because he doesn't look as good. Obviously, a very weak group of players on our scouting board because we don't need much, right? I have wide receiver on my list. That's wide receiver 3. I have O-line on my list. That's backup, future offensive lineman starters. I have linebackers on my list. You can see we have 4 guys there. This is the highest part of our scouting. And then I have DTs, which, of course, I don't need a starter for. We are moving on to 26, slowly but surely, as I need to make sure there's at least a linebacker. I would like to draft 2, but they're 1-2s this year, apparently. It's a bit of a weak class. So we'll see what we can come up with. All right, we're here at pick 26. The guard is gone, but the other players are not. I do like Derek Smith. I want someone a little bit bigger for the Mike linebacker spot, but I don't really know if that's going to happen. These other guys look good, but we'll say Smith looks the best. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll go Mr. Enriquez. Enriquez. I don't know, dude. 29 true talent, hidden dev. That's all that matters. And even though it's going to cost us a lot to move back up, I am going to also take Smith as well. We don't really need a Sam backer, you know, really, but that's our biggest positional needs, linebackers. So 15 true talent. Damn, both were hidden dev. So, I mean, yeah, those linebackers maybe actually were worth those high picks for once. We're going to get a decent trade from the Falcons to get a 5th next, 6 this year. I know that 6 is late. We'll end up using that to trade up into this this spot, if you will. Any teams way high up here with multiple picks? Sadly not. 6th this year, 7th 2 years from now, and we get the 6th round pick off of, I don't even know who the hell it was. I already just forgot because I was already thinking about the Raiders, who we need to trade up for as well. I want both of these picks. And that's what we get. We make the trade. We have back-to-back picks. We'll be taking an offensive lineman and a defensive tackle. Mr. John Stanley is the first one. True talent of 49. Dev of a hidden. Huge. And now we have Mr. Wynn, who I want. Cassius Wynn, a finesse. I mean, just one of those guys that usually is pretty good. Chance of hidden, which we do actually get. What a draft pick. Galloway and a 7th round pick for their 7th round pick. Basically, they get a better corner, and we get a potentially elite kicker, actually. Jake Davis, A accuracy, elite kick power. I can't imagine he's anything but generational, right? 13 true talent with, hidden dev, 99 kick power. There you go. Draft recap, a bunch of 73-plus overalls. Enriquez, dude, I'm not even gonna try. All right, and he's only star development trait, unfortunately. I don't know who's going to be our Mike. It's whoever the bigger dude is, I think, which I think is Smith. No, he's not. He's the smaller guy. It is the other guy. I remember that now. That's why we passed on Smith in the first place. Take a look at the dev, which is... Okay, that's our Mike linebacker. He's a freaking X Factor. Wow, all right. Wow, we almost completely sold. Thankfully, we needed, quote-unquote, 2 linebackers. Needed for quote. And then here's Win. Almost always start development trait, so I'm not too worried about that. Jake Davis, though, 99 kick power, 82 accuracy. Is he actually, in fact... We're not going to give a number of 10. Well, that's what Willis was wearing, all right? Is he, in fact, superstar? He is. Huge. All right, here's the team for season number 3. Obviously, it looks really good. The only one that's actually a normal dev, fullback doesn't count. They aren't real people. Patrick Paul, 86 overall, though, so he's very good. But yeah, all the skill position guys besides Stowers are all Superstar Plus, which is good. Look at the defensive side of the ball. 2 new linebackers, both hidden development trait, one of them an X Factor. D-line's all-star. Really wish we would have gotten dev up from Chop. Didn't get it. Bullard's the new strong safety because he has a higher ceiling. Mixon's just can be wasted by us. Cooper DeJean and Delane are the number 1 and 2 guys. Defense looks a lot better than it used to be. Team in general looks great. See if we can get a little further in the playoffs. Hopefully we at least make them again. All right, negotiations. Waddle 3 years, 90. Kenneth Grant. Aaron Brewer again probably gets a contract. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have anyone crazy to pay just yet, so we're chilling for now. We'll just pay the guys and hold the money. Pretty big game here as winner, I think, wins the division, or at least guarantees a playoff spot. We have a really good chance, though. If we miss the playoffs with this record, I would be shocked. But it is, I suppose, technically possible as we get the bye week. We're the number 1 seed. What a W. We started the season off really nicely. We were 6-0. And then we lost. And then we won. Then we lost. 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 Then we won. Then we won. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Welch, another great year. Rushing, very good. Good Concepcion. X Factor, perhaps. Touchdowns are a little low for everything else, but it's okay. 13 sacks allowed for Brewer. Glad we paid that 2-year 34. Ooh. Uungalele. What a play. Great job by the edge. DT, not bad. Perkins, really good. We have him as kind of a backup to the backup, so he comes in, perhaps, every once in a while for the pass rush, but a lot of that is just him blitzing, probably. Jake Davis, though, not a great season, but it doesn't matter what your ratings are. Rookies just struggle most of the time at kicker, and then the second season, they're like 80+%, so we just got to wait. Joe Burrow loses MVP, and honestly, even though it's Mahomes, glad to see someone new, sort of. Looking at Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to McLean, a guy we were going to draft but didn't. And then Derek Smith, we do actually win Defensive Rookie of the Year for once, but it's for a guy that doesn't need it, unfortunately. So win-loss kind of situation, which is exactly how our season went. Let's take a look at this divisional opponent as we obviously are free from the wild card round. Taking on the Texans, 91 to their 87. I like our odds. All right, going to the end of the game. 0-0 still, 3-0. Start of the second quarter, they get a touchdown. It's 7-6, 10-6. At least the kicker's making the kicks in the playoffs. Huge rushing touchdown given up before half. Could be the difference in this one. We are now down 7. Offense is going to have to do something here. Otherwise, we're going to have to come in potentially. Defense is getting beat. 3rd and 12. 4th and 12. They punted perfectly to the 2-yard line. The team is pretty much, like, done. We're going to need somebody to wake the hell up here and get us down the field. 4 minutes left in the 4th. We've turned the ball over 3 times, and we can do nothing to get down the field. And that's a great play. Waddle's got a lot of room. Waddle with the juke move. Oh, what a move. Waddle with the acceleration to the 30. What if he has the, what is it called? It's like catch and run, grab and go. That's the one. That might be what he has because he moved very quickly there. Concepcion. Yeah. It's not that I want the team to win a Super Bowl right here. I'll take it if it happens, but I would like us to at least win equal amount of games. What a dot. Oh, my Lord. Stowers blasted to the 32-yard line. What a throw. You can't tell me it wasn't a hot one because it was. It was absolutely a hot one. Throw it away. Keep forgetting this guy's not a fast guy. I was expecting Willis, and I've got Stafford. One thing with the Packers team is I don't love their playbook, especially all the short passes, but I get it. It's not bad for Sim, obviously. Problem now is, did we move down the field too quickly is the question. Quick throw outside. Waddle. Maybe not. Stowers. The guy never looks for the ball. Somehow finds it and swats it away. Remember when that was a thing? Remember when they said that they couldn't make a play on the ball unless they saw it? When did he see the ball? That green dot is more than the microphone and the headset. That is absolutely a camera. He has a rear-facing camera. Got to make sure you don't back up into anybody. And to the outside. Oh, there he goes. Into the end zone. H-Chan with all the speed. I'm going to let the AI kick the extra point and all that. I don't think you go for 2 because that gives the other team a free pass to be aggressive. And as you can see there, we get the stop. Clock is running, but they have time. The rough part is if we come out onto this field, they are going to waste all that clock, and I won't be able to call a timeout. Oh, they actually let me call a timeout. Fair enough. This is the team's doing. I'm just making sure that they actually, like, follow through with it. Not a huge fan that we're under center, but it worked last time, sort of. Stowers. That is good stuff. I don't think you do anything but kick a field goal here. Call a timeout early, but, I mean, they have timeouts, so it doesn't really matter. He's got the slowdown kicking. It's a perfect kick. And this shaky kicker may have just helped win their divisional round, heading to the championship round. Defense clutch up again. We gave them no excuses to go for it. They punt the ball. We have time before half, and what a comeback that was. 10 points in the fourth quarter, maybe more. Don't know what they hit earlier. I think it's been pretty much the same score the whole game, though, as we didn't score any points since the second quarter before that fourth. Which scores, looking at the numbers, Welch was not great. We definitely made his numbers look better. User-wise, HN not great either. Really not a good performance in the offense at all. At least our kicker was perfect, though. That was the difference in this one. To the championship round. We're taking on the Bengals. 91 to their 88. We're the top dogs. Who was that on their team? Thought I saw Parsons. And it sure looked like they were X Factor, if you ask me. 7-3 to start this thing. 10-3, 10-10. 17-10. Nice little comeback. 24-10. Really nice turnaround. And they get no points before halftime. They get 3. Come on. 1 touchdown does it. There you go. 31-13. Not going to be losing this one anytime soon. What a defensive performance, though. 37-13. I mean, this looked like it could have gotten out of hand early for the Bengals, and defense was just not having it. Let's take a look at the numbers, though. Welch, not a great performance, but an accurate one. And, of course, had a couple of rushing touchdowns to go with it. 3 for the team. 1 for himself. And then defensively, seemed to be pretty damn elite. Don't see any numbers that are crazy here. Cooper DeJean with a pick. Huge. They missed 2 field goals. Ours guy did not miss a single one. So stick it out with the guy that's struggling. Maybe you got a chance to have a turnaround with him. I got to say, it's kind of crazy to go from like a really bad regular season being, what, 5 for 5 in the playoffs? Pretty clutch as we are headed to the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons. Somewhat fitting, as, you know, the last Willis rebuild we did, we had the Falcons. So I'm curious to see who their quarterback actually is. It is Penix, who's an X Factor. That scheme is crazy. Speaking of Willis, though, is he starting somewhere? I want to see what kind of season he had. Willis. He is a Steeler. I don't know if he started, though. He did, and he was horrible. So, again, justified that we replaced him, I guess. Wonder what happens in real life, though. I'm very curious. Either way, let's take a look at this Falcons team real quick. See if we're going to win. What are our chances? The Falcons did have a bye week, so they were just as good as us. Won by 3 over the Commanders. Won by 28 against the Saints. And then we'll see what happens here. So 2 really big blowouts in the championship round. I mean, 1-to-1 team, it seems, almost. Looking at the offense, though, X Factor Welch, X Factor Concepcion. Really fun name to say, by the way. Superstar X Factor. Anyone else go up in dev? Stowers, maybe? No. Defensively, any dev ups? Uangolale. We love to see it. And that's it. Everyone else was already their dev. Beautiful. All right, what a year we had. All right, let's see if we can cap it off with a Super Bowl win, though. Year 3, a little bit of a weirder one to be winning a Super Bowl on, but let's see if we can do it. 3-0, 7-0. 3, anyways. Falcons, 17-3. 7. Oh, my Lord, my numbers. All tied up. All right, Falcons up by 7. We tie it back up ourselves. Huge stop. Touchdown. Damn it. They got away before I could do anything. 4th and 8, punt. If you hold on to this drive, you win this game. 3rd and 3, not having it. I am not having it where some stupid crap happens, where somehow, some way, we get sacked. We're not doing it. Who's that? That is a very fast player. Who the hell is that? That is Darius Slayton. What a guy. I thought it was Slayton because obviously it wasn't the 2 top-tier wide receivers on our team. Their numbers wouldn't have aligned. Oh, my God, dude, they're going backwards. I mean, I get it, trying to waste the clock and all that, but could we stop choking? Everything in this damn playbook is an option route. Like, could we just have somebody run a route that I know where the hell they're going to end up at the end of the route? No? Okay. Concepcion! Get that first down! There's no way it's inches. I mean, you got to kick the field goal, right? You have no choice. You get the field goal and you pretty much win the game. Is that good? Looks good, I think. Okay, wow, dude, he's got a rocket for a kick for a leg, which makes sense. He's 99 kick power. And that is probably going to be it. I mean, I'm barring a miracle. I think we have won a Super Bowl in year number 3. We'll do 2 more seasons regardless. Defense said you didn't even need the field goal, brother. Oh, my God, maybe you did. 4th and 23, give up a 27-yarder is crazy. But here are the Miami Dolphins, who have won a Super Bowl 34-24 over the Falcons. You know, 2 teams you probably wouldn't mind seeing in the Super Bowl. I personally wouldn't. I don't really have a fight against either of these sides, really. You know, I don't even know who I would root for, honestly. Probably NFC, right? Falcons, just for the NFC side. You want your conference to look good, so, you know, when you're winning, it's like, oh, well, yeah, well, our conference has more Super Bowls or whatever, you know? Makes sense, I think. Either way, though, the decision to draft Welch, the decision to start him because of a great preseason performance, has turned into a very quick ring. I mean, this is probably not a Super Bowl team if Willis was the quarterback. Just straight up saying what is factual, I think. Could we have gotten there? Maybe. Would we have gotten there? Maybe. Would we have done it in year 3? Maybe, but very unlikely. And gotta say, very good decision, right? A decision that I almost didn't make because it's like, well, we don't really need one, but no, we went with Welch, and Welch has been great. HN solid. Darius Slayton had himself a decent little playoff run. And we won it all. We're Super Bowl champions. Kicker, was that perfect? Was that a perfect year? At least in the playoffs? Clutch. And there's the playoff schedule. Nothing funny about that one. Let's go to the next round, though. Let's see what retirements we might have faced, which I don't think we would have had anybody, right? Maybe Minka retires on us unexpectedly, but even he, I don't think will. At least I hope. And it's Cavante Turpin, who is, I mean, he's a big name. He's a return man for us. And every single time we sim, more money just shows up. Just a little more money every time. Uungalele, I don't know. I don't think you do the tag. I think you just pay him. He's going to want probably 31 to 34 anyway, so why would I pay 36? Delane is going to want 20 to 24. Why would I pay 30? You know, it's just not worth it. Really, that is just for guys that are going to be asking for more money than the market says, which is most of them. And for guys you don't really know about still, which obviously I know very much so about those two. I want them long term. It was a pretty good draft class. Looking at free agency, though, there are some decent names here. Abdul Carter, Nick Bosa. That is crazy. Jordan Love's a free agent. Spencer Brown. Did we lose O'Neal? Is O'Neal here, or did we let him go because he's old now? Was he like an 82 overall? Buaga. Could have sworn we let him go. Is he still here? How many years is this guy going to play for us? Did he retire? What? I'm so confusion. There he is. Okay, I was confused. Not that it matters, because we have Spencer Brown, who's even better, and he's very similar, right? He's same height-ish, same speed-ish, but Spencer Brown's definitely more powerful. Similar blocking, just one's stronger at some things, where the other one's weaker at others. So, you get Spencer Brown, and you're looking good anyways. And, there's some other names here, especially on the O-line, that look good, but I really don't think we need anyone here. Sure, Nick Bosa would be a great corner cutter, but we don't really need him. That's just being lazy, to be honest with you. We just don't need that. Spencer Brown's really the guy I need and want, and that's who we get. All right, we're in the draft with pick 32. Of course, we just won a Super Bowl, and there are a couple of decent-looking players, but none, in my opinion, better than this safety, and it is kind of a need going forward. As Bullard, what is his long-term development going to be? Obviously, Minka Fitzpatrick, he's regressing. He's getting older. But Aries Meeks, A hit power, A tackle, B zone, C man coverage. Decent speed, nothing crazy, but really good core attributes. I mean, he's USC. This looks like one of those guys that's going to be no less than like an 81 overall. Even if he is star, I could live with it. I think that's who we have to go with. I don't know where I'd be wanting to take him because it's 2 to 3. but he could easily go top 15. So I'd probably be willing to go to like 20 with the Bears and make a trade up if he's still there. And this costs us a lot more than I thought it was going to. A first, second, fourth, fifth. The fifth is next year, and then another fifth next year to get to 20, which I'm really hoping this guy's good. Again, he should be, 81-ish overall, which I think is worth it. Aries Meeks, let's see what he is. He is the number 1, actually, in dev, thankfully, of course. 89 speed and 94 excel. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He's a good player. We're going to go to 32. I don't know what we need. Wide receiver was kind of on my list. DT was kind of on my list. Edge, safety, It's kind of positions are on my list of needs, but not ones we had to get, even the safety, but the value was there. Ooh, Anderson, who was very fast. I don't really need a linebacker, but I'm going to grab him anyways. Wyatt Anderson, 81 true talent. Well, I wish I didn't do that. And then our final pick is going to be an offensive lineman that I'll probably never get to start, Mr. Eddie Looney. Give me the hidden. I'm feeling normal dev, though, can't lie. 39 true talent, and yep, I knew it. I saw that D. What? All right, now that he's 1 true talent, I'm thinking more 83, 84, if anything. Or 87. Is that the highest overall we have drafted? 99 hit power, 66 block shed, 80 zone coverage. Holy! 87 overall. I mean, he's got to be X Factor, right? Okay, if he was a star dev, that would have been devastating. 21. I kind of like number 2. I want something a little bit more unique. I mean, it almost makes looking at the other players irrelevant, especially since they're normal dev anyways. Well, at least you got a really good safety pick because the rest of the draft was garbage. All right, here's the team for season number 4, coming off of a Super Bowl win, so the pressure is really far off of us, but the pressure to be legendary is on, as we're going to try to win back-to-back, maybe 3 in a row. Definitely going to be looking at wide receiver next season. This upcoming offseason is... You can see Waddle is starting to fall off a little bit. 91 overall. It's not going to get any better from there. D-line, might need to look at DT again. And then Meeks, dude, what a draft pick. He's going to have to start over Bullard. The depth on this team is great as well. So we are well on our way to potentially getting that back-to-back, maybe three-peat. We haven't done it this year, I don't believe. All right, contracts. Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. This is where, all that money felt like we had so much of it is going to disappear. We're not going to be able to afford the QB. We're genuinely not going to be able to afford them. Look, they don't even know what to do. They're like, loading more money, so we don't have the money for it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because we have a lot of big names on the team. Trying to keep as many guys as we can. So far, so good. Perkins definitely gone. He's going to be a cap casualty, same as Miller. Stowers really should be, but he's cheap enough. Man, we are so cooked, though. All right, well... I mean, year 5 might be a little weird looking. Year 6, if we had to do one, though, that would be a disaster. And we're back at the playoffs, 12-5. No bye week, though, as the Chargers steal it at 12-5 as well. Must have had some sort of tiebreaker. Did we actually play them this year? We did. Oh, it was the final game. I didn't even know. I should have looked. We could have went in, maybe try to win that thing. Because that's basically the wild card round, right? As Welch... looks like he may have won MVP. I mean, that's a ridiculous TD to interception ratio. Achane was obviously amazing. Waddle with all the touchdowns. Slayton looking good. Stowers decent. Really should have let Stowers go because we're going to lose Welch. We really are. Pass rush, oh no. At least Chop did well. Maybe he'll get a dev up, which is a good trade-off, I suppose. Cornerback Delane, totally worth the contract at that picks. And wow, Davis was bad again. Funny enough, though, again, he had a great playoff run. Just the regular season, 62 and 68% or something like that? I don't even know. Welch, not even number 2. Number 3, I got to see these Mahomes and Burrow seasons. I've got to. And as far as the dev-ups go, we have no guaranteed ones. I need to see them. 2 guys always winning the damn MVP. Of course, slightly better, and then the Bengals are probably going to be the same. That one, I get the yards, but I don't think that's better than 44-3 for touchdown to pick ratio. Either way, almost backed out. We're taking on the Browns, 10-7. I mean, even though we didn't get the bye week, doesn't mean our, back-to-back run is over. Potential three-peat run is over. Just a little bit tougher. All right, going to the end of the game. What are we looking like? 7-0. 3 points for us. Another 7 for them. Here we go. Finally a touchdown. But they're just constantly scoring touchdowns. I don't think they've failed to score one. Finally they do. 28-17. Not over, though. 28-25. There's no way, right? No way the team actually makes the comeback. There we go. 3rd and 2. We're moving the ball. 3rd and 4. Conversion. 3rd and 6. Conversion. And just like that, we're up by 4. 4th and 4, they're going to punt. If we stay on the field, we actually win the game. Oh, wow. I've got to see this scoring summary. What was the comeback? It must have been like nearly 25 unanswered. Scoring summary. So it was 28 points in the first half for the Browns, and they didn't score a single point in the second half. 28-10, and they choked it. Absolute sell. Both quarterbacks are great. Bo Nix is a Brown. Achane, really good numbers. They just didn't run the ball, really. Stowers great. Slayton was great. Concepcion was decent. Tyson was solid for them. Pass rushing. Walters 2.5. Half for Smith. No interceptions. And, just like last year, perfect playoff kicking. If that's what he wants to do every year, fine. Gets all of his misses out during the regular season and then kills in the playoffs. That's a trade-off I'm willing to take. We now move on to the divisional round where it is the Titans. Team we rebuilt last. We have them by a lot in overall, but let's see if we win anyways. You never know. Those underdog stories happen. End of the game. Hopefully we don't give up too many points in the first half like we did last time. 7-0, 10-0, 10-7. A little bit better. Still not perfect, but a little bit better. Huge drive, huge touchdown before halftime. 10-point lead, 13-point lead. Titans get a field goal. That's not going to be enough. A lot of nothing around midfield, but here are the Titans. If they get a stop here, which they don't, they could win. 4th and 15, they will have a chance. Minute left to get into field goal range. From the 49-yard line, I don't know if the clock's running, but if it's not, they could do multiple things here. And it's not running. I mean, I think you got to play the boundaries and just let the guys over top make a play if they decide to take the shot. And on the run, it's dropped. 7 seconds left now, 2nd and 10. And they have Chris Boswell. I mean, he's a little older now, but, 57-yard field goal they can hit. They're actually going to just straight up go for the Hail Mary instead of going for a short pass again. It's a bait. Definitely be looking at the running back sideline. Nobody going to get there, and it is. The ball is there. Swatted perfectly, but they will have a second left to throw another one. Okay, we got to get in there with Perkins, especially since he is a pass rusher. Well, he can be a pass rusher. Can't get blocks. He's in trouble. Throws it on the run, and it's up there again. And almost caught up of a deflection, but no catch. 20-17. We're headed back to the championship round for back-to-back seasons to try and win back-to-back rings. Look at the quarterbacks. Very, very even game. Like, super even. Run game's not the best, but Achane was at least better. Waddle was decent. Sacks, wow. Oliver with 3.5. Chop Robinson with 3.5. Grant with 2. Christmas with 2. 1.5 for Simmons. 1 for Walters. Half for Sweat. Half for Stewart. Half for Perkins. Very even game there. And then our kicker did miss one this time, but it's okay to miss 1 or 2 here and there. Just not like 9 on the year like he had. Was it 9? I think it was 9. And now the Chargers. This Chargers team, man, they are making their presence felt. All right, going to the end of the game. Super Bowl bound if we win it. 6-0. I don't like how this is going. This is like one of those 41-7 type games. Maybe not. Maybe not. Man, their defense is looking good. We get the touchdown. All right, 1-point lead. 8-point lead. 11-point lead. 14-point lead. It's a 7-point game. 3rd and 12. I really want to see what the game is thinking we should do. Oh, the clock's running. We won. Okay, never mind. Game over. And there it is. The kneel of victory sending us to the Super Bowl 2 straight seasons in a row. Can we actually win it, though? Can we go for a three-peat is the real question. Welch was great. Running game was good-ish. Receivers were really good. Sack totals. We've had some pretty good pressure through the playoffs. That wasn't really one of them. And then kicking. Both kickers missed a field goal. So Davis now 2 field goals missed in the playoffs. And it's going to be a little bit of an animal battle as the Eagles are headed to the Super Bowl with us. We haven't beat by 7 whole overalls, though. DevOps, Achane goes to X Factor, which is huge. Waddle sadly does not. But Achane going to X Factor, nice because he's like 28 now, or about to be. And then defensively, Chop Robinson with all those sacks does not go up in Dev. Delane, however, I believe does. Yes, he does. What a player he has been. That draft pick was so worth it. Starts as a normal, ends as an X Factor. Taking on the Eagles again for that back-to-back. The Eagles have been kind of the record enders. You got a streak going in the Super Bowl. The Eagles are coming in to stop it. All right, going to the end of the game. Let's see it. 0-0, 3-0, still 3-0, 10-0, 10-7. Halftime, a huge stop. Might have been the game if they would have got that. Although it's a 10-point game, this is not going to be good. They're trying to make a comeback here. Come on, get the touchdown. There you go. 10 points with 8 minutes left. 4th and 3. That's a good stop. 3rd and 12. You got to go for this, right? Okay, they are in agreement. We do all agree that it would be very foolish to not go for it. I appreciate that we're all on the same page with that. Have to go. What a catch. Concepcion. Welch trying to screw us over. Definitely doing some side bets or something. And we turned the ball over, was that? Wait, what just happened? Did we turn the ball over and then they turned the ball over? Clock is running crazy hard. I don't know why we didn't just go for the field goal here. That's crazy bad throw. Let's just kick a field goal. I don't know why we're not. We have no time. Touchdown's cool and all, but it's 19-yard line. It's not like we're at the 5. Should kick that sooner. Probably would have had a chance at getting the ball back even if you fail the onside. Now our entire hopes are riding on this onside kick. So we'll say, I don't hate our odds. Ah, it's right to him, dude. That's unfortunate. I can't believe it went that high. We went with a shorter, weaker kick than normal. And unfortunately, that is going to be it. No back-to-back, but it was a hell of a year again. And with that, we have a chance still to become a dynasty, winning 2 out of 3 years. But obviously we have to be able to do that. Let's move on and see the stats, though. As obviously the quarterback was horrible, unfortunately. Threw 2 interceptions. Run game wasn't great. Receiving game was kind of weak. Paul gave up 1 billion sacks. Picks for Johnny North and Jahad Campbell. Kicking was clean, but ultimately we still lose by 7. And the streak has ended. We talked about it. They are the streak destroyers. Well, let's take a look if we had any retirements. Rashawn Gary, who we were talking about, has retired. Bunch of mentor types from us. No actual starters. Might have been some interesting regressions in there, but I actually see Rashawn Gary as a saint. You know that? But $53 million, we're not going to spend any money. Oh my lord! Yeah, I don't know about that one. So we do need to replace Perkins. Oh, I didn't even notice Minka was there. And that's not good. Blake Miller, he's gone. So we're losing a lot. Ernest Green was a wasted pick, so I'm not really too worried about that. Yeah, we're losing a lot. I don't think we can afford the QB, but maybe some restructures gets the job done. Unfortunate. I mean, we could have, I don't know why I didn't try at least like a 1-year deal for those guys, because we don't have to pay the QB just yet. Pierce is a free agent. Lawrence would be a huge corner cut. I guess maybe we're happy we didn't do that, because we can land one of these DTs, which is potentially enough to put us over the edge, right? At least I'm hoping. Lose Minka. Tate's a free agent. Harold Perkins is a free agent. Obviously still getting some offers. Yeah, really just getting Dexter Lawrence, whom I called DeMarcus again. Definitely a big one for us, and really the only one we want of that group. What an absolute unit. Can't believe they let him go to free agency. We'll take it, though. All right, we're in the draft pick 31. Really what we'd be needing is future wide receiver, future O-line, DT, and then potential linebacker. Scouted these wide receivers further, I should say, and there's some speed. Teague looks good, but I think Campbell's better. I'm pretty confident both those guys will be there, and honestly, we don't really need that position for this final season, so if they're there at 31, I'll take one. If not, I don't care. It is what it is. Teague goes 1 pick before us, but I would want Campbell more anyways. And as you can see, he is there. You have options across the board. Anyone else? Tight end, maybe, sorta. Jesse Jenkins, interesting name, but not good enough of a player, in my opinion. And with that being said, I think we shall be taking the wide receiver, Todd Campbell, who again I think does look better. He's obviously faster. 75 overall normal. That's my call. Take it or leave it. Okay, maybe 76 is normal though. We'll see. I mean, that was my call, and it looks pretty accurate. We have a 2-3 linebacker in Borden. Do I want to do that, though? That's the question. Do you have a tight end? I don't really love Logan Woods, to be honest with you. O-line got a lot of UDFAs, so we're fine on that front. DTs, couple of DTs. Lippett would be one of those smaller DTs, but usually they have hidden, right? Maybe, no. Corner, no. Safety. Safety is probably your best value, but I need Borden. I need a linebacker, sort of. Sean Borden, that's the pick. 95 true. Be hidden. Nice. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. Wide receiver, you can develop easily. We'll even probably put him in the slot. Be more natural of a season. And see if we can win Rookie of the Year on top of it. As far as the rest goes, you do have QB, so maybe that's an option. Lippett's still there. Okay, well, Hunter Lippett's the choice. That's about as easy as of a decision we're going to get. 71 overall. True talent. Hidden dev. Okay. Our first round pick was a little mid with that normal, but the next two have been hidden. Big news. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have no other picks after this fourth round. That means we're going crazy trade down time. We're going to find some teams with some 6th-round picks. And we do make a trade down, a 4th and a 6th, and a 6th. The 2-6 are 2 years in the future for 2 5th-round picks, which we could turn into 6th-round picks as well. I might turn the 22 into 2 6th-round picks if possible, and then just take players from there. We trade that 5th-round pick for 2-6. I think they're kind of later on, but let's start taking some players. So, with these selections, we're going to take a bunch of DTs, and you'll see the result of that when we're done. Hidden Dad Fricalindo. Then we got Eddie Gannon. 37 true talent with Hidden Dev. And then I guess we'll take a DT. We'll take another one. Why not? Darren Brown, 80 true talent. Streak over. All right, draft recap. How do we look in the wide receiver? 75 overall, dude. I just had a feeling. With those trades. 74 to 76. So I split it down the middle. Not a bad pick. The rest, actually lower than I would thought. I thought Borden maybe 71, 72. He's okay, but obviously, lacking. And then the rest, yeah, I mean, the old linemen, they are what they are, but not our best draft, but pick 31 and then some. All right, here's what the team looks like for the final season. Not looking too bad. By the way, we've got an Asian quarterback. This is historic. What are we even talking about here? Didn't even think about it. That is pretty sick, actually. Looking at the defense, though, obviously, we have Mr. Dexter Lawrence. This guy right here. Not playing super well for New York, but I think he'll be back to his normal self with us. Certainly, right? Obviously, that'll happen. Of course, Enriquez will be our will linebacker. And, yeah, team looks good. We probably should have Bullard at free safety since Minka's just dead. But I'm going to let Mixon do it. I really don't remember him retiring, by the way. I left this for a day, so I really can't remember anything. Did we let him go because we were broke? That might have been it, huh? Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. I left this for a day, and I got confusion. So I do want to look at contracts just to see how screwed we would be in the future. So Bacon's gone. Walters is gone. Mixon, you definitely pay. That contract is freaking free. That is, like, basically paying for free, or playing for free in the NFL. You lose pretty much, like, all the linemen. Dexter is probably gone. I mean, this quarterback is going to cost a lot of money. Like, we're looking at $80 million per year, which honestly, like, is that even worth it? Like, what does this come out to? Like, 75, 76 million per year? Whatever. It's stupid because you probably could tag him for like 70, but we're just going to get it done. Dude, he took the entire cap room. That's crazy work. Yeah, you want to talk about, like, hey, you don't have the killer instinct some of these other guys have by taking all that money? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this entire team is gone now. And unbelievably, with a 95 overall team, we have missed the playoffs at 10-7. You have to be absolutely kidding me. Let's take a look. So, of course, we had a really bad start of 1-5, which is insane. Then we won a bunch of games in a row. Then we lost 2 of the last 3. And it's just such a bad start that you basically just couldn't lose, simply put. Let's take a look at the numbers. How do you not make the playoffs with that? The greatest quarterback season of all time. Then we look at the rushing numbers. In fairness, touchdowns are low, but yards are good. Receiving, Campbell had a great year. Blocking, Aaron Brewer wasn't the best. Looking at the sacks, okay, the defense was a little mid. Lawrence with only 8 sacks, but he did have a lot of tackles for loss. Smith was great with the picks. Kicking was okay. I can't believe we missed the playoffs of this team. Again, we're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. We are doing the thing. There's, of course, no point doing another season. Sometimes we do an extra season where we kind of mainly sim. But this team is about to take an L. They are about to lose a lot of talent. And we're the highest overall team by a good margin. The second highest team is 92. Then the next highest team is like 91. Then 9. It's not great. It really is not great. But yeah, let's take a look at the awards, which I imagine that's an MVP. It is. MVP can't make the playoffs. Best year of his career, can't make the playoffs. That's painful. We will go take a look, though, at the DevUps, if we had any, and that'll be it for the rebuild. I mean, it was good. It was good. It's just unfortunate. And the winner of the Super Bowl is the Steelers. Take a look at the DevUps existed. We're so broke. This reminds me, just don't do any more 10-plus year rebuilds, because holy crap, I don't want to be a part of this. But Concepcion, 99 overall with no short route running at all, but very, very elusive, and everything else is like damn near 99. It's a little bit strange there. He already had the X Factor. He did. 99 overall, though. Pretty clutch timing. Of course, Waddle, he has regressed hard. What does he look like these days? Not great, but still good. Still good. He lost 3 speed there, and he's still very good. And then, of course, we are going to look at the new wide receiver, the up-and-coming guy, maybe the new Waddle, if you will, Todd Campbell. Short route sucks, but everything else decent. Obviously, now superstar dev with his Rookie of the Year award win and decent stats and 21 touchdowns, mind you. A-Chan, who's now 29 years old, still as fast as ever, and really doesn't lose any of that. He's losing agility, maybe a juke move. Nothing really major. Then, of course, we look over to the tight end Stowers, who never got higher than star, but he is a 91 overall. Those training camps came in clutch. Oh, no. Wait, no, he is a vertical threat. He just has no catching. That is strange. No? Is that a common thing? Of course, now we look at the quarterback, which, let's take a look. Jonathan Welch, 98 overall, pretty much maxed across the board. Not the fastest guy in the world, but one of the last true up-and-coming prospects that is an actual pocket passer, right? Most of these guys now, they have to run. Like, most of these guys are just born fast. Not sure how that works, but Patrick Paul, we'll take a look at him, 88 overall. Really good pure pass blocking. Everything else is very low. And then Aaron Brewer, 86 overall. He's an okay overall. He went 1 or 2 overalls up, but then he comes down a little bit with the regressions, and it's a bit of a disaster. Defensively, Mixon, he's kind of newer, so I don't expect much, but Kyrie Mixon, he didn't really get much chance to play, but now he's the starting free safety for the next, 4 or 5 years. Of course, actually 6 years, potentially. Meeks, what a draft pick he was. Of course, they did develop him as a run stopper, but good enough zone. 85 zone coverage with 99 hit power, great block shed, all tackling, pursuit, all that stuff. Definitely worthy. Look at the arms, by the way. Massive. Looks like a linebacker. That looks like a freaking DT, to be honest. Definitely worth it. Then we have Enriquez. Is it Jorge Enriquez? Enriquez? I literally tried to say a different name 3 times and said the same name 3 times. I literally sound like I was broken. Enriquez. That's crazy work. I'm gonna do it again. Derek Smith, though, X Factor, what a draft pick. Great coverage ratings. Not the best in block shed. A little bit on the slower side, but definitely a good player. Now we have Mr. Meeks, 95 overall. And, wait, we already just looked at him. What am I talking about? Oh, my God. Yeah, let's go back to Meeks. I need to go to sleep. All right, let me go to sleep in peace. Let's relax. Of course, Delane, normal dev. He's an X Factor, 97 overall. What a player. What a player. A little disappointed with him at first with the normal dev, but high overall, and it worked out. I really don't want to look at Chop. I kind of want to look at Cooper DeJean since we're here, if you don't mind. Did Drake ever go to star? He didn't. Cooper DeJean, 96 overall. What a player, dude. That man in zone is really good. The press is solid. I did not expect him to be this well-balanced. I thought he was going to be kind of bad at one thing, and no, he is actually pretty damn good. Uangalele, let's take a look at him. 92 overall. Some ups and some downs, especially downs lately for sure, but, that 15-sack season was great. I don't know what's going on, though. Packers defense, just not the way to go. I think we even switched the Bills defense, though, didn't we? Maybe not. Chop Robinson, though, he was a little bit better overall, but, you know, what am I saying a little bit? He was way better. I thought he had a really bad season this last one. He had 10. That is right. So, yeah, really good, actually. Had double-digit for us specifically every single season we took over. DeMarcus, dude, I always do it. Dexter Lawrence did retire on us. Walters, though, the block-shedding man. And then the other DT, I wonder what he's good at. Kenneth Grant, could it be pass rushing? No, and it's block shedding as well. Of course, way better looking player for sure, but that is pretty much it, right? I mean, I guess I'll look at Davis because he was actually pretty impressive as a superstar kicker. But that is it for this realistic style rebuild of the Miami Dolphins. Again, if you enjoyed, maybe leave a like, subscribe for new, hit the bell notification all if you enjoyed. Thinking we'll have a video on Monday. I'm thinking Dolphins franchise on Monday, and then probably another rebuild on Tuesday. Can't decide if it's going to be Chargers or Giants. We'll have to see. Maybe we had some sort of like goal at the beginning of this. 250 likes. Tuesday we'll have another rebuild or something. You guys let me know what you'd rather see. Anyways, though, appreciate you for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video,